with Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Absolutely love them. If they were female, I'd marry them. Getting you ready for the weekend, 4 days in, Dolphins, Bills tonight. I mean, this is what it's all about, right? The NFL is just so dominant when it comes to rivalries, particularly Buffalo in Miami. I mean, what is that? Is that like Oregon State? Is that Washington State? I mean, it's not Army-Navy. It's not Florida State. It's not Ohio State, Michigan. I say it all the time. People try to argue with me on it. That's the only problem the NFL has. There's not any rivalries in pro football. All right? And if you want to waste my time talking about the Packers and the Bears, how many Super Bowls have they won in the last 50 years? Packers go to Browns this weekend. Is that a rivalry? No. Colts go to Titans. I mean, you just cancel everything when those two beasts from the AFC South meet this week in Nashville. Cincinnati at Minnesota. I mean, can you imagine right now granddad putting grandson on his knee saying, I remember when it was Fran Tarkington. I remember when it was who was the old quarterback? Was it Ken Alexander? Who was the great passing quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals? Ken Anderson. He was actually a quarterback's coach here for a little bit of time. Pittsburgh at New England. The Los Angeles Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. Jets at Bucks. Raiders at Commanders. They met in the Super Bowl. Falcons, Panthers. Oh, yeah. Tickets right there. I mean, I can't even imagine what they're called. Duval, Jacksonville, taking on Houston. Houston's won 9 out of the last 10 here. Houston's walked in here again, beaten the living tar out of the men, stole the women right in front of your face here the last 10 years, 9 of which they have done that. I wonder, where's the pride? Where's the animosity? Where's the fight back? Where's the enough is enough is enough is enough is enough? 9 out of 10 years. I mean, that's what Alabama and Florida used to do to Tennessee. Didn't you have that ridiculous streak? It was like 27 out of 28 where you knew as a Tennessee Volunteer fan, no matter if you had Peyton Manning or, whoever it may be, okay? Florida was going to beat you and Alabama was going to beat you. You think they're nervous right now in Houston about coming in here again and facing this Jacksonville Jaguar team favored by 1, favored by 1.5, depending on where you shop? And we'll see. Spent my time today at the Miller Electric Center. Had an opportunity to interview several players, and we're going to play some of them for you here over the next couple of hours. But, hey, something's got to give, right? And they're aware of it. But to be honest, it's not really a major talking point. It is for me. It is for you. This is important for the fans. This is important for the media. It's never been important for a new staff. It's never been important for new fans. And I can tell you what, I can give you example after example after example because this has been such a poor franchise for 31 years, right? I mean, remember they never won on the West Coast. Remember it was like no matter what the situation was, whether it was 1 o'clock in the East, 1 o'clock in the South, 1 o'clock in the Midwest, 4 o'clock in the Midwest, 8 o'clock Thursday night, 8 o'clock Sunday night, 8 o'clock on a Monday night, 9:30 in London. I mean, Jacksonville lost, and they had to get through those trends. And you'd ask, the next coach, and then the next coach, and then the next coach, and they were like, no, I wasn't aware of that. Liam Cohen and this football team is aware of the fact that 9 out of the last 10 times that this game has been played in Jacksonville, Houston has won. Get it done on Sunday. That is just freaking embarrassing. There's really no other way to say it. Brenton Strange, well aware of it. Talked with him earlier today. All right. He says everyone handles things differently, but third year in the league, this absolutely is something that he is aware of. I asked Bayshell Tootin today, who was limited for a second consecutive day, has a penny on, no contact. Today was a padded day on a Thursday. He is aware of it. Others goes in one ear and out the other. They've already turned the page. They let Cincinnati go. The focus now is against a Houston football team that is very bland, okay? I mean, they struggle to score. C.J. Stroud has one passing touchdown so far this year, and he has absolutely struggled. 32 of 51 in 2 games, 62.2%. 395 yards in 2 games, all right? An average of 7.7, a touch, a pick, an 85% quarterback rating. Let's compare that with Trevor Lawrence, 43 of 73, 58.9%. We know it's not all his fault. There's been a ton of drops early on for the Jaguars. The Jaguars have also done a really good job in pass protection. They've only allowed 1 sack so far in 2 games. Trevor's thrown for 449 yards, an average of 6.2, 4 touches, 3 picks, a quarterback rating of 77.9. I believe that puts him 28th right now in the NFL. It does, and 27th in completion ratio. Third overall, he's tied for second in the league for the most interceptions right now for 3. So, better football to come. But to me, this is so much more than just another football game. This is about chopping down the beast, okay? This is about getting out and getting a lead, something Jacksonville has done now consecutively. It's just amazing, right? Lengthy drives. They shot themselves in the foot, had to settle for a field goal against Carolina because they had 3 penalties on that opening drive. Look at what they did in Cincinnati. Another lengthy drive, went in, touchdown. Jaguars. I mean, you didn't get that last year. You didn't get that in 23. You didn't get that in 2022. You're getting it now with Liam Cohen. You're getting it with this offense, a balanced attack, rushing and passing. Although in the first quarter, it's been much more pass than it has been rush. I should say first and second drive. That's a positive, okay? Because they're desperate in Houston. Houston's not rolling in here like a team who's won 9 of 10. Houston's rolling in here a team that is 0-2. And they understand if they go 0-3, the trend is this: less than 3% to make the playoffs if you begin the year 0-3. For 0-2 teams, we talked about this earlier in the week, since the 32-team format, going back to 2002, there have been 190 times that a team has begun the year 0-2, right? Only 18 times out of those 190 have teams made the playoffs. That's a 9.5% chance of that happening. The exact same thing applies tonight for the visiting Miami Dolphins going into Buffalo. Miami 0-2, Buffalo right now 2-0. Just that incredible come-from-behind win that we did see, obviously, a few weeks ago against Kansas City. So, this is a game where Houston defensively can get to the quarterback. Defensively does a nice job against the pass. They appear to have one real limitation, and that is defending the run. And something's got to give here. To me, this is all about Jacksonville coming out and being able to establish the tone of this football game against a normally more physical franchise than Houston, against normally a more dirty football team than Houston. It's also a franchise that will go the extra yard, will go the extra mile, will do anything that they possibly can to defend their own. All you have to do is look at what happened a year ago with D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caserio. They were both 100% wrong. The concussion to Trevor Lawrence, and they turned that thing around and defended the team, defended their player, and they took all comers. They said, go ahead, throw your best shot. I got punch me in the mouth. I'm going to take it, but I'm going to defend our guys. And look what happened around here. It said you had Doug Peterson saying, yeah, I'm going to have to talk with Jalen Jones about that. It was awful. It was freaking pathetic. Okay? It was gross. They let down their quarterback. They let down their franchise guy. They didn't defend him, and they didn't support him. I want to believe Baselli will. I want to believe Gladstone will. I want to believe Cohen will. I want to believe this offensive line will. They didn't a year ago. And it was one of the worst moments in franchise history. Jaguars win this game 27-20 on Sunday, and they do it in a very physical way against these Houston Texans. All right, we're going to be busy here over the next couple of hours. We get things started with the good folks at Shmunez Vision, okay? At Shmunez Vision, listen, they're always going to give you the most value for your money. And, patients aren't always educated thoroughly about cataract surgery. And, you may spend time with your ophthalmologist, and then all of a sudden, you have questions that need to be answered, and they're going to send you down the hall, and you're going to talk to a surgery counselor. That's not the way it should work. If you need surgery, you need to talk to the individual who is going to actually perform that surgery. That's Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. You're talking about more than 37 years worth of experience. And again, 9 years ago, I went in for a simple procedure, right? Went in for a eye examination. He said, you need surgery. The very next morning, Dr. Neil Shmunez, it did come out. There's never been a setback. So, again, just one example of the many things they do for you there at Shmunez Vision. All right, plenty to do for us tonight over the next couple of hours. It's certainly going to include you and your feedback, and that's coming up right here on Into the Night.
He's skilled in the art of diplomacy.
I'm Defense Minister Dmitry Mishkin.
Get insights and interviews from Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline when he takes you behind enemy lines.
The CIA has no knowledge.
Delivered by Palo Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Shmunez Vision. Why Shmunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Shmunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Shmunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit shmunezvision.com today. Here you can see.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Small business owners need trucks and vans to keep your business moving? Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside has Ram 1500s to heavy-duty 2500s, ProMasters, and custom uplifts ready to work. Visit them on Commonwealth Avenue or go online to jaxwest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local partner for work-ready vehicles.
sports. Attention, ladies. The Ladies Florida State Championship is returning to Best Bet Jacksonville from September 18th to the 21st. Highlights include a World Poker Tour mega satellite, a free Q&A session with the Poker Hall of Famer and First Lady of Poker, Linda Johnson, and Women's Poker Hall of Famer, Jan Fisher. It includes the $300 No Limit Hold'em Ladies Championship Tournament and the $200 Kings and Queens No Limit Hold'em event. Don't miss this action-packed weekend. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now is the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of September, you can join and save 50% off their initiation fee plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Everyone considered him the coward of the county.
Jaguars theme song from 2024.
It never stood one single time to prove the county wrong.
You can beat the living snot out of our quarterback. We're going to tuck our hands in our pockets.
The folks just called him Yellow.
And Doug Peterson, watch the move. He takes his flip card, puts it right there, up to his armpit, takes the wing down and kind of straddles it there. Your franchise quarterback. No support. None. Zip. I got people say, let it go. It's a new year. Are you kidding me? This is what fandom's all about. How could you possibly let this go after what they did to Trevor Lawrence? Sing it with us, Duval. Let's take one last look at 2024 and the cowards of the Jaguars organization. Thank you, Kenny Rogers.
I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man.
Nick Cesario, unbelievable. D'Amico Ryans, they were so wrong. They were so freaking wrong. How proud would you be to have a general manager and a head coach that you knew they were wrong, yet to your fan base, they said, I don't care. Find me. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Write whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want. I'm going to defend Aziz. Okay? He was wrong. The whole world saw it. That's leadership. Okay? That's a franchise that you can be proud of. As dirty and as cheap as they are, when push comes to shove, what did Houston do? They defended theirs. What about this group? What are they going to do? I'd love to see a personal 15-yard foul. I'd love to see that early. I mean, this team's going to get penalties anyway, right? They had 11 against Carolina. They had 6 the other day, including 5 illegal motions that were declined. This team is going to get penalized. Why not make a point and get a 15-yard personal foul by being the boss, by being the aggressor, by being the tough guy? When's the last time Jacksonville was the tough guy? This is the game for it. Sunday at 1 o'clock, the more physical team. Jacksonville, statement. It's huge. It's massive. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to run for far more than 100 yards. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a big-time comeback game. They already have 6 interceptions on the season. I think they're going to get a couple more from C.J. Stroud. I think all of these pressures are finally going to turn into sacks. I know they have 4 as a team, but only 1 for Walker and in zip for Hines Allen. I think they get to the quarterback. 27-20. But you fans, man, this one's for you. And I always do sports radio for what the fans, I think they want to hear. It has nothing to do with what the players want to hear, the coaches want to hear. It's you, the fans. You better be geeked out for this one. This is not just another football game. They took an unforgivable cheap shot on your quarterback. It could have been a career-ending cheap shot on your and the organization supported it in Houston. They loved it. Nick Cesario's pretty good behind the mic. DeMeco Ryans is pretty good behind the mic. They had you believing that, hey, you know what? Maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked like. They had Houston believing that. Man, that's leadership. And that's what you want here. I hope that's what you got here. I find it impossible for me to believe that if Cohen, Gladstone, and Baselli were running this team in 2024 and the exact same thing happened, they wouldn't have responded. Do you remember Tony Baselli as a player? Some of you out there are old enough to remember him as a player, okay? I told you that in Cincinnati a couple of days ago when I saw Liam Cohen walk into the press room after that loss. I've never seen fire in eyes like that since Tom Coughlin. Will that resonate with this football team? Will that provide a little extra motivation with this football team? It's going to be a different style of football. I think it's going to be lower scoring. 27-20, I guess, that would be right around the over, so maybe not as low as I just said. I think most people would probably play under my 47 total points. By the way, we're 4 for 4 on the year, Dylan. How about that? 2 sides and two overs.
Yeah, I think it's a lower scoring game than 27-20. I see a 2017 final. Houston hasn't been able to score much, and they haven't given up much in both games. And they've played 2 quality opponents. The Rams and Bucs teams, 2 teams that are probably going to make the playoffs and won the division a year ago. I still think it's a coin flip game right now as we sit. But I do think it's a low scoring game.
They've lost 2 games by 6 points. I mean, they lost 14-9 in Los Angeles, and they lost 2019 on Monday night against Tampa. And we saw where they were inside the goal line, right? Goal to go, I should say. They couldn't force it in. This team is better than its 0-2 record, but this team is flawed. And I don't support what they did, giving away Tunsil. They're not nearly as good on that offensive line. And I absolutely do believe that they can be had when it comes to running the football right at them. I think that's going to be the difference in the game. Let me be crystal clear about this when I say that you should be peeved. I don't want you to, and you're smart fans, you're good fans. I don't want you to do anything stupid to any visiting Houston fans. I just want your focus to be, on what is so important to you in your well-being, in your mental health. This is more than just a football game. I don't want to sit here in a year and talk about how Houston has won 10 out of 11 in Jacksonville. That doesn't happen in the NFL. I mean, I guess the Tom Brady Patriots had a ridiculous number against Buffalo. I don't remember what it was. It might have been like 28-2. It was just something that was just so absurd. But for the most part, that stuff doesn't happen in the NFL. Not 9 out of 10 at your place. And that's what's happening here. All right, 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube tonight, 1010XL into the night. I want to begin to get your thoughts because, of course, tomorrow I'm with you 4 to 6. That'll be on AM 1010. This is your last opportunity right here on Into the Night at night to voice your opinion. I got 27-20. I'm not wasting any more time. I think the Jaguars snap this bad boy and send Houston to 0-3. But I want Jacksonville to be chippy. Okay? I'd rather have a 15-yard personal foul for extra shoving or pushing or hitting than a ridiculous illegal motion. You get where I'm at with this? I hope you do. All right, tonight's show brought to you by Alexander Law. Attorney Rick Alexander promises to give you direct individual attention. That's so important. It really is. Some of these massive firms, you never know who you're going to get. I told you when I went through my divorce 19 years ago, I thought I was getting the man who was on the company. Now, he drifted me off to some schlep who, it was just terrible. And I ended up getting, just destroyed as a man in the state of Florida when it came to a divorce. It does stink for you men out there. I got you back on that. It's terrible. Although I'm told the rules have changed a little bit. The laws have changed. Hopefully they have. Anyway, back to personal injury. That's most important, but that's an example that I can think of. And we've all visited lawyers at one point in our life. If you've been injured in an automobile, you can't afford to pay your car repair. You can't afford to get to work. This is the type of stuff that Rick Alexander is going to be a part of. He has never, since he took over his own practice in 2010, not been involved in one of his cases, okay? In other words, it hasn't been moved down to other lawyers. Rick Alexander is on top of it, and you're going to get that opportunity to get with him. He's old school, okay? He wants to know his clients. He wants to know everything about you. So if you're dealing with this right now and you're alone, that ends. $400-$6,600. Free review. Free consultation. You can also check out everything by going to alexanderlawpractice.com. All right, when we come back, let's hear from Brenton Strange. Caught up with him a little bit earlier today at the Miller Electric Center. I want to get you I'm trying my best here. I'm trying to get you fired up. It's not my role to be a cheerleader, okay? It's not my role to carry the water. It's not my role to ring the bell. And I've been critical of Trevor Lawrence in his career. But what they did a year ago, no, I'm not going to let it go. I'm not. That was terrible. It was a cheap shot. And this team a year ago didn't respond. I believe this year's team will. I just believe that. I don't know that. But we'll hear from you as well. Plenty to do with you tonight till 8.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,600 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. But only until September 30th. 18 months financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts. And at 1010XL.com. Trained by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Frank Frangie here. It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership at Park and Cassett. Who's got more new Chevrolets at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big... Whoa!
See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Buffalo playing host to Miami tonight. Big number here, 10.5. Dolphins is going away. And it's a weird beginning of the year. You were the AFC. You only got what? 4 undefeated teams as we head towards week 3. Buffalo, Cincinnati, which just is wrong. Indianapolis. You know, and you got to wonder about staying power there. You know, to me, that's kind of like a 75. Never mind. To me, that's kind of like a tube of toothpaste. You keep squeezing, and sooner or later, nothing comes out. That's kind of the way I look at Indianapolis and the Chargers. You know, that's a good team. Winless team. Jets, Dolphins, Browns, Texans, Titans, and the Chiefs. Chiefs 0-2. What an opportunity here for Jacksonville to get the 2-1. Colts go to Tennessee. I mean, you could make this, honestly, Dylan. You could head to week 4 knowing that it's a 2-team race in the AFC South. If Jacksonville wins here against Houston and Indy goes into Tennessee and wins that game.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I mean, talk about Indy's staying power. Indy, I forget where I saw the stat. You know they haven't punted in the first 2 games of the season. That you have to go back like years and years in the Super Bowl era. Maybe it's never happened before in the Super Bowl era. If it has, it's been a long time. And, you know, we've seen Daniel Jones and how bad he can play when he was in New York. You know, how long is that going to last? Right. And if he gets hurt and you go to Anthony Richardson, you know, you're going to be doomed then. So if you're Houston, you start 0-3, and Jacksonville is 1 game behind Indy, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Do you see Jonathan Taylor down the sideline? He ran like 22 miles an hour or something like that. It was one of the fastest times. Certainly he's back after some injuries that he has had to his lower body. You're right, Daniel Jones, 71.4% completion percentage. Sooner or later, that's going to change. You know, we went through it at the top of the show. Trevor's percentage is 58.9. C.J. Stroud's percentage is 62.7. Daniel Jones, 71.4. So only a matter of time until that happens with Indianapolis. All right, let's get to the locker room. Let's do that. It was down at the Miller Electric Center today. Jacksonville had a padded practice on this Thursday. After their workout, I had an opportunity to catch up with tight end Brenton Strange. Thursday, padded practice here with tight end Brenton Strange. How'd it go?
It went well, you know, just coming out here trying to check all the boxes and do what we need to do in order to be prepared for the game.
Tough loss against Cincinnati. When were you guys able to turn the page and focus solely here on Houston?
You know, I like to watch the game on the plane no matter what, as soon as I get home, no matter what, if that's a home game. So I got over the game on Monday, you know. You got to move on. What can you do for me now, league? And we're ready to play the Texans and move on.
Off to a really good start, you know, catching the football, but certainly you're blocking at tight end. And how rewarding is it to know that 2 games in, Jacksonville's the #1 leading rusher, you know, rushing team in the NFL?
Yeah, it's very rewarding. You know, I think that's something that we have to keep up and we have to keep doing in order to get to where we want to be. A lot of the great teams in the NFL, they have a good complementary run game and pass game. So in my mind, in order to have a good offense, you have to be balanced. So I think that's a great thing for us, and we just got to keep getting the details down and keep going.
It's so early in the season, but Houston's a desperate team. They're 0-2. Traditionally, 0-3 teams, it's less than 3% that they actually make the playoffs. So we're out of Houston. Is this the must-win game for them already?
Yeah, you know, I don't really worry about anything that Houston has going on, and I think that would be the same answer for all the guys in this locker room. I think we just worry about what the Jaguars have and what's in front of the Jaguars. So we just want to take care of our process and do what we need to do in order to feel prepared for the game, and I think everything else will take care of itself.
Last one for you. For the fans, they'll talk about 9 out of the last 10 have gone the way of Houston here in Duval. What about for you guys? This is year 3 for you, but half the roster has changed. Is that something that you guys discuss, or is this just another game against the big rival?
You know, I've been here for 3 years, and in the back of my mind, yeah, for me personally, yeah, I do look at it like that. I know that they have had the upper hand on us the last couple of years. So, but then again, like, I'm not gonna treat it like I'm gonna treat it like every other game. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna play hard and do what I do. So it doesn't really make much of a difference to me.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Brenton Strange off to a real good start. 7 receptions, 9 targets, 76 yards, an average of 10.9 per, and 4 first downs with those 7 receptions. Yet to hit pay dirt. Who knows? Maybe that happens this Sunday. But he has also done a phenomenal job blocking. And he is truly turning into one of the, you don't talk about dual tight ends much, right? You talk about dual quarterbacks and beating you with the arm and beating you with the legs. But Brenton Strange, you know, the blocking tight ends are always going to be somewhat underrated in the NFL. You look more towards an Evan Ingram, a makeshift tight end. But Strange, I think, is entering top 10 tight end category. in this league if you put a little bit more emphasis on what he actually does as both a run blocker and when asked to, chip or pass protect, which isn't as much, obviously, but certainly his run blocking, no doubt, has been really solid. All right, before the break, let me give you this. We have a few updates on the injury report. Let's start with the best news of all. Buster Brown and his ankle. He has fully participated both Wednesday and Thursday. I fully expect him to play on Sunday. I think they'll ease him in a little bit. I don't think he's going to give you, 40-plus plays. But I'm fascinated about the way that Campanile has played 3 safety sets. And we know that Murray and Dewey are playing every play. Antonio Johnson has gotten a great, vote of confidence this week from Liam Cohen, but he's only played 1 snap in 2 games. So you're basically throwing him out there, kind of like you'd be throwing Buster Brown out there. I'm not saying either one of the two can't get the job done, but it's going to be new for them. They're going to have to get into game shape. At least Antonio Johnson has been working as a 4-core special team. I think that's real good news when you, do look at Buster Brown. Defensively, Jarian Jones, again, he didn't play well last week. He's got a bad back. He's been limited both days. Be interesting to see where his snap count is. Do they still go Lewis opposite Campbell, slide Lewis inside when they go to nickel, bring in Buster? Travis Hunter played 85 plays last week. He played 42 or 43 on defense. So there are options defensively. I wouldn't expect as much this week from Jarian Jones. I may be incorrect there, but we'll see. All right, so those are the 2 on defense. On offense, starting left guard Ezra Cleveland with his ankle has not participated both days. I would look for a Friday limited participation and then have him listed as questionable, but I think he's going to play. And, Liam Cohen has talked on that. Hunter Long with an ankle, he has been upgraded from not practicing yesterday to being limited today. So that's better. Backup rookie guard and tackle Wyatt Milam, more of a guard is what they envision here, obviously. Drafted as a guard, but can play both. Played a left tackle at West Virginia. A knee, he was limited both days. Brian Thomas Jr., the wrist. He went from fully participating yesterday to limited today. And I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'm not. I just, how do I want to say this? I think this is part of mental rest. After what I understand was a really good day yesterday, both in spirit and on the field. Answered all the questions from the media yesterday. Looked a heck of a lot better than when we met with him Sunday in Cincinnati. And again, I'm just throwing that out there. Bayshell Tootin, I caught up with Bayshell Tootin. We're going to play that for you next hour. I did ask him straight up about the shoulder. He said he's been limited, and it's just a precaution. I asked him if he would be available to go on Sunday, and, he told me, he said yes, for sure. That was his exact answer. So Bayshell Tootin, again, limited. He's had the penny on, no contact, but the feeling is that he's going to be good for the Jaguars to go coming up on Sunday. All right. We got much more to do. We're going to check the money in Las Vegas next hour. I was looking at different different entities, different companies and their prognostication. It's amazing how many people are picking Houston, or maybe it's not, considering what I've been screaming about tonight, the fact that they've won 9 out of the last 10 here. National media has a different feel than certainly I do, all right? But we'll continue with that. We'll give you a couple of examples. Great to have you with us. He's still in Denmark. I'm Rick Ballou.
With so many stars on the field, there's always one that burns brightest.
And when he flashes, he is something to watch.
Who will be this week's Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game?
Watch out!
On 1010XL.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now is the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of September, you can join and save 50% off their initiation fee, plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
No more climbing ladders or tree shopping or untangling lights, no way. Kuhn Flowers will take care of it for you this fall when you schedule their holiday home decorating team. High Flying Jacko here. Now's a good time to call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
Get down to the bank Sunday, September 21st, as your Jaguars face off with division rivals, the Houston Texans. Celebrate Hispanic heritage and witness history as the Jaguars take the field for the first time this season in the legendary Prowler throwback jerseys. Lock in your seats now for a 1 p.m. kick by visiting Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at Everbank Stadium.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Just went through the Jaguars injury report. Nothing has changed in Houston. Still limited participation for the starters. And I'm doing a interview tomorrow in Houston, so I'll have a real good understanding because when I do interviews with opposing teams here for you Jaguar fans, I am not afraid to fire back a question or answer it in a way where I'll get a retaliation, if that makes any sense. You know, it's kind of like Spicoli. Have you seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High? No, I've asked you that question before.
Negative.
When he says to Mr. Hond that it's our time, not my time, but our time. If you do an opposing interview, I'm looking at this as our time, okay? He wants everything from me on Jacksonville, but while we're in our time, if you're savvy enough and crafty enough, and I'm a lefty, so I'm crafty, I'm going to figure out what is coming out of Houston.
Yeah, just like a job interview.
I call it the Spicoli.
Yeah, like any job interview. Yeah, if you don't ask questions back, it seems like you have no interest in the other side.
Some are thinking, Spicoli, yeah, we got you, but you're going to fire up a doobie before the interview. Hey, listen, some of you fans, you may need that, losing 9 out of 10 to Houston. Whatever it is you got to reach for, good luck to you. This thing has to change. There's really no other way to say it. Absolutely has to change. 92-47 Ballou. I think they're going to knock the snot bubbles out of Stroud. Give us the damn penalty. Yeah, and, I don't support cheap shots. And I don't want to see anyone get injured. Just like I don't want to see anyone lose their job. Okay? I hate the hate. But when you get out on the gridiron, it's a little bit different. Okay? There's always going to be extra nonsense once the whistle blows. Down in the ditch, pushing, shoving. I'd like to see Jacksonville be the aggressor there. I wouldn't have a problem with a 15-yard penalty. Okay? I just wouldn't. If you believe it's going to fire up the football team, if it falls on deaf ears and no one else, creates or is able to develop more adrenaline because of it, then it ends up being useless. But I just think everything they put into it as far as free agency, everything they put into it with the draft, the type of guys they want to get, quote unquote, football players who love the game of football. I've never heard that in my entire life until James Gladstone got here. Support one another. You see, it feels like they're moving guys out who didn't fully buy in. Darnell Savage was whiny, gone. Tank Bigsby couldn't figure out why he wasn't getting the football more. And isn't a perfect example of a Liam Cohen running back because he has feet for hands. Gone. And to me, there's an enormous difference between Bigsby and Savage. Okay? They're both bulky guys, but Savage can't play. His days are behind him. Tank Bigsby, I still think in Philadelphia, spelling Barkley when it's all said and done, I think he's a good two-down back. I think he can still run. Absolutely. Yeah, very good camp. There's a big-time difference between those two. Just wanted to share that with you. All right, let's, I got so much I want to do here tonight. I'm just, I usually, not this early anyway, get so emotional about a game, right? I'm a member of the media. I work in a non-emotional press box. You're not allowed to make any noise at all. You're not allowed to cheer, which happens all over the place. I'm pretty, believe it or not, laid back when I'm not on the air. But this one, I've been waiting for a very long period of time. This game is so huge. Again, this is a game, I said in week one, that the game was more important to the fans than it was to the team because the team proved they were ready for Cincinnati. They should have won against Cincinnati, even if they had lost against Carolina. I thought that game against Carolina for your mental health, and I said it for weeks, was more important for the city and the fans. I'll stand by that. This game here is so huge for this football team, for the 53, for those who were here a year ago. You've got to beat Houston. You've got to pay back them for the concussion to Lawrence and get rid of the fact that people like me keep ramming down your throat that Houston's 31-15 in this rivalry and that Houston's won 9 out of the last 10 in Jacksonville. I don't want to have to say that anymore. This game is huge for your Jaguars. And remember, Houston's coming in desperate. 0-3 teams, they don't make it to the playoffs, and that's where they will go if my score holds still. I got Jacksonville, 27. Houston, 20.
Play-by-play sports just sounds better on radio. For high school, college, and pro sports play-by-play, turn on 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know. Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 18, 2004, Maurice Jones-Drew of UCLA rushes for a school record 322 yards and 5 touchdowns in the Bruins' victory over Washington.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
There's a new game changer in downtown Jacksonville, and it's not the two-way star you might be thinking of. It's Pour Tap Room Jacksonville at Laura and Forsyth. 2 floors, 80 self-pour taps of craft beer, wine and cocktails, and a full liquor bar. Pour Tap Room has all your game day favorites. Wings, burgers, and more. You can even grab a slice or a pie next door at Pizza Dynamo, and they'll bring it right to your table. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville, a beer festival every day.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Jags fans, arrive on time. The smartest way to get to the bank on game day is the JTA's Game Day Express, sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 pickup locations. Get your $10 pass on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for details.
Crosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them a solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like. Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Disappointed to see that Clayton Kershaw is going to retire at the end of the year. 10-2 this year at 3.53. His whip is 1.22. Dylan, he's 222 and 96 in his lifetime. He's got a win percentage of .698. His final home start will be tomorrow. He'll get another one on the road. If he can go 224 and 96, I believe statistically speaking, he will finish his career with a 70% win percentage. I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal.
That's incredible. You think of like the really good pitchers. I'm trying to think of like my era, like Felix Hernandez and Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
I mean, King Felix, I remember, had one year where he led like every statistical category for a pitcher, but had a losing record because his team had no hits. And Kershaw had everything except for that World Series ring up until a couple of years ago. Definitely one of the best in his era.
I'm going to look that up and see in the modern day era. I know Pedro had a phenomenal one. Verlander just said that he wants to pitch another year. He's only 3-10, but pitched wonderfully last night, didn't allow any runs. He just didn't get any run support. All right, enough baseball. But this is the best time of the year. Mid-September, heading towards October. You talk about something that's wide open. This year in Major League Baseball, the World Series. I mean, good luck just picking your two teams. Teams get hot for a week, then tail. Tail, then get hot for a week. We got much more on the Jaguars. I am fired up for Saturday as well. I'm heading over to Tallahassee with my brother and his youngest daughter's there. My oldest daughter's there. So I'm going to take in that game at 3:30. And then once that game ends, I'm just got to find a television and watch Florida and Miami. And certainly, I'll watch it in its entirety probably next Monday because I'll be back here certainly for the Jaguars game as well against the Houston Texans. But this is really interesting to me. Billy Napier, 20-21 in his career, but he's only 5-14 on the road or at a neutral site. He is also 4-15 against ranked opponents. And, there are certain coaches who fit into that. You can take a look at James Franklin and how he's tried to overcome some of those really bad numbers at Penn State. Far more of a lengthy career at Penn State for Franklin than Napier here. But then you go to the other side. You look at the Gators, Dylan. Their last 7 games, Florida has allowed 20 points or less in 7 straight games if you go back to what they did late last season.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible. And, a lot of that had to do with Caleb Banks and what he was able to do in the interior. And, it kind of spread out from there. Sapp was really good in November last year. Caleb Banks had a foot procedure, so he's probably going to be done for the year. So he was in a boot about the 3rd week of camp. Now he's gone. He only played about the first half, maybe 3/4 of that LSU
Yeah, it was
game.
tough to see him walk off.
So this defense, as good as it's looked, it doesn't look as good now without him.
Yeah, I don't want to see anyone get injured. I hated that. Carson Beck leads college football in completion percentage, 79.3. And DJ Langley, for what it's worth, 71%. And if you add his 6 picks, he'd be 77%. Because he's 71 for 100.
I saw, was it right
so if you
before
had the 6 picks, he'd be 77%.
It was like right before the Florida LSU game. Georgia, Tennessee's wrapping up, and when they show Florida LSU, they show Lagway warming up, and they're like, DJ Lagway, most accurate thrower within 10 yards of the last scrimmage. I'm like, okay. Like, he was so good last year because he was able to throw the ball deep downfield.
Yeah.
Like, what a stat.
No doubt. Malachi Toney, I'm trying to figure out who he is. You know who he reminds me of? It's not a Santana Moss. It's not a Jack Jackson. It's almost like he's an Allen Iverson in a football uniform, or, he's listed at 5'11". No way. Not even close. I'm guessing what? 5'8", 5'8.5", 5'9".
5'9".
And I know that's slighting Iverson a little bit. I want to say Iverson was 6 foot, maybe 6'1", but he's such a tough guy with blazing speed. He's a true freshman out of Miami. If you haven't watched the Hurricanes play yet, certainly keep an eye on this true freshman, Toney. He looks like the next great one at the U. All right, let's get back to and tomorrow, I'm schedule change at 4 to 6 tomorrow on the AM. Okay, Tim Brando ran into some big-time travel problems. Oh, boy, there's a shock. I told you about coming back Sunday night from Cincinnati. They delayed it an hour because the flight attendant left something back at the other gate.
Yeah, I remember.
At least that's what they told us. Because no matter what the situation is, everyone tells the truth, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So Brandon tomorrow on the AM, 4 to 6, we're going to have him with us. I also want to replay the Jimmy Smith interview because I got a lot of comments on that. So that's going to be part of the Friday program as well. And then certainly with Jimmy, much more on the Jaguars. Let's begin, though, by going to Anthony Campanile, who did talk today. And the fact that they're 1-1 is one thing, but it's blatantly obvious when you watch this football team how much better it was a year ago. And you look at things that they have improved on, not only offensively, but absolutely defensively as well. And we all know the drill. Last year, only 8 defensive takeaways. They added a 9th on special teams. So far this year, you already have 6 interceptions in 2 football games. Anthony Campanile was asked about that earlier today.
Like anything else, you got to work at that. That is encouraging. Guys are playing with vision on the ball. We got to continue to do that. We got to attack the football. But if we don't do that in practice and we don't drill that as position coaches and myself, the position I'm in, it ain't going to continue to happen. So it's doing the work every day. And our guys, I think, have been seeing results because they're doing the work every day. So I'm pleased with that at this point, but still work to do there too as well.
So there you go. This Jacksonville defense has done some nice things. Again, they've played quite a bit of nickel as expected and an awful lot of dime. And a lot of that has been 3 safety sets. So I think for those who are really invested in the game plan, which obviously includes the scheme, or it could be basically the same thing, personnel, if you will. There's been a little bit more of a rotation than I expected under Anthony Campanile in 2 games, and the exception has been safety, where it's been Dewey and it's been, Eric Murray, the kid from Houston, the guy out of Houston. They played every snap, and when they did go to 3 safety sets, it was Darnell Savage. I mean, Savage played 20 plays in Cincinnati. He played 28 plays here against Carolina. The guy was a big part of it. So what does that mean for Sunday? It feels like it's Antonio Johnson. He is going to be the guy. And again, he hasn't had an opportunity to play this year. He has in his career, but he hasn't this year. And then on top of that, you look at cornerback, as we've talked about, Buster Brown practiced in full today and yesterday. It feels like there's no doubt that he's going to be back this weekend. So you're talking about 2 guys who could be a part of your dime coverage. Key word there is could, right? Haven't played. It's going to be very interesting to see if they change that, if they show things that are different that we haven't seen, or if it's They both, Antonio Johnson, I thought, had a really good training camp. Told you this many, many times before. You just look at him. He looks the part. There's length. He's put together, man. He's a big man. And you just wish that his football instincts would take over and that he'd be in the right place at times. That's been a problem for him. He's almost like a Devin Lloyd in coverage, and Lloyd made a big play last week, but if you go through the career of Devin Lloyd, there's been times where he just hasn't been where he's supposed to be. I think you can also say that about Antonio Johnson, even though we're talking about a first-rounder and a fifth-rounder. I think there's a real chance here for Johnson. Savage wanted out. We get that. But he was still a guy who was contributing to this football team. Now you got to replace that. And again, we'll see what happens at corner. And we'll have to sit here and tell, we talk about how, oh my God, they have too many guys there. Well, usually when you get into a conversation like that, what happens? You lose Buster Brown. Now you got Jarian Jones, who's less than 100%. Again, you went from, was it 46 or 48 plays from Travis Hunter against Carolina to 85 plays with Travis Hunter against Cincinnati. How realistic is that? Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, 85 plays. I don't think it's realistic. And I think it's going to remain fluid. They needed him more last week because Jones went down. We all understood that. But I almost think there could be a little bit more of Hunter on defense because Parker Washington has earned more than 17 snaps a game. He got 17 against Carolina. He got 17 against Cincinnati. He catches everything that's thrown to him. He's not afraid to go over the middle. He's a guy that, is headed towards some consistency. I think that's been an issue for him early in his career. But I think some of that is not getting enough reps. Before we head to the break here, let's see. Yeah, 5 for 5. It all happened last week. Again, he wasn't targeted against Carolina. 5 for 5 is Trevor Lawrence to Parker Washington. That is absolutely insane to me. We gave you these numbers yesterday. What did I do with them? Crying out loud, Ballou. This is why I don't write a lot of things down, because I try to keep them in my head. It works better than actually doing things that I do write down. I'll tell you about it on the other side. I want to say it's like 11 for 33. Here it is right here. Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. 13 receptions on 33 footballs for 110 yards, no touches, and 3 picks. Those are 3 of your best players. It's not working. Guess what? It's going to change. It may change Sunday. That's not going to remain that way. If so, Jacksonville is in a heap. They are in a massive problem area. I already told you, I think Brian Thomas Jr. bounces back. But if you look at this, Diami Brown, 8 for 11, even though he dropped one in the end zone, should be 9 of 11, right? Brenton Strange, 7 of 9. Parker Washington, 5 of 5. Even Bayshell Tootin, 2 of 2. Travis Etienne, 5 of 6. Hunter Long, 1 of 1. Quint Allen, 1 of 1. And then you get to the 5 and 19. And the big-time problem there with Brian Thomas Jr. This actually says differently. It has Hunter for 9 and 14. So that would be 14 as opposed to 13. All right, whatever. 1 ball, 14. We'll give them credit for that extra reception. It's not as bad as Travis Hunter. 9 of 14. Only 55 yards. I mean, that's the scary part of it. The yards for Thomas Jr. and Hunter. Again, you got to believe that's going to change. And I think it could happen as early as this Sunday. All right, let's come back. Let's get you involved. Let's grab some more questions from you. I also want to play my conversation. At least, let's play that from Bayshell Tootin, who I catch up with earlier today, the rookie out of Virginia Tech. We'll do that as well as we steam towards 8 o'clock.
This is the game right here. If they're able to make a play.
It's the top of the highlight reel.
What a play!
The Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game on 1010XL. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Wick, a candle bar, is celebrating 6 years this Friday through Sunday. Enjoy 15% off your total purchase at both San Marco and Jax Beach. Come celebrate 6 years at Wick, a candle bar.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy are serving up your daily dose of sports talk specials from scratch.
I didn't know you could.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
These are delicious.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we're ready for you. We're going all out with end of summer savings, like new Kia starting at $20K. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or you can even hit the road with financing rates as low as 0. It's not too late. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval!
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Go to the green every Saturday morning.
At
Murphy learned how to putt.
And get golf tips and talk to help make your golf game more fun on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour, Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Here's a simple tip for shoulder health to improve your posture. Slouching can put extra stress on your shoulders, leading to pain and injury. Make sure your head is over your shoulders are relaxed and pulled back, and your spine is properly aligned. Whether you're sitting or standing, if you sit for long periods of time, make sure to get up and take breaks and work on pulling your shoulders back. Get up and get moving, Jax. Go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Sparrow Ditas, Adam Archuleta, they'll have it for you this weekend if you're watching on TV. Rather have you go to the game, put us on. Pre-game, in-game, post-game. Including the fifth quarter right here on your home of the Jaguars. So there you go. Getting a lot of stuff in on Chris Fowler. Apparently he looked awful last Monday night. And, people saying he's overworked and, he's been doing college football. I thought Fowler was better on game day than he is as the premier college football voice. I don't have a problem with Fowler. I think, every other word that Dr. Herbie says could possibly be a lie. But I don't know if you noticed that on Thursday night. They were talking about massive bags under his eyes. And
talking about Monday night, the Monday night doubleheader.
I guess it was a bad night for him and Louis Riddick and who's the former quarterback?
Dan Orlowski.
Yeah, those were the three.
Yeah, I went home, had the game on mute, fell asleep at half.
I watched the first game with volume and everything that went along with it. That second game, I'm trying to think what I was doing. I might have been rewatching the Jaguar game, and I had it on with no volume, so I didn't even hear the broadcast. I kept an eye on it.
Yeah, I listened to it right when I turned it on, and his voice didn't sound right. So that's usually pretty tough. When your voice goes and you're a play-by-play guy, that's tough. You're trying to take any kind of medicine and juice and whatever to get your voice right. It's tough.
A lot of criticism out there with broadcasters. I think this is a great era. I really believe that. I think Sean McDonough is the best. The Gators had him last week against LSU. I think that, to me, he is the best at play-by-play in college football. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Tim Brando. And I'm going to stay with Jim Nantz when it comes to the NFL. I still think far and away he's number one. Just my opinion. But there's so many good broadcasters right now. I've said this many times before. I think there's room for an outstanding analyst. I think there are far better play-by-play broadcasters right now in the NFL than there are color analysts.
Yeah, the analysts the good ones are like Aikman, Chase Olsen.
Greg Olsen, yes.
Greg Olsen, yeah, my bad.
Aikman, no.
But
Collinsworth, no.
Like, they're just not great. It's not like this guy's really good. Like, Brady's gotten a little better, but, he was awful last year.
I never understood the Romo deal.
Yeah, because he predicted plays that nobody ever did before. Brady was so stoic last year. Like, Brady, dude, you've been in these situations. Like, what are you seeing right here? And just go and talk about it for, 15 seconds. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but yeah, not really many good color guys.
That's picking up more steam as well. That's going to come to an end. It really is. He's going to have to pick one or the other. That is a total conflict of interest. And, Ben Johnson made comments about him. For crying out loud, the Raiders are playing the Bears coming up. And if you don't think him being in the booth is a problem, then you're missing out. And I tell you when it becomes really a problem, and it may not, that is if the Raiders become a good football team. If they become a playoff football team, the Brady stuff is going to take on a life of its own. It's being thrown around right now. A lot of people have an opinion, but it's the Raiders, and the Raiders lose. So, it kind of ends there. But if they somehow get really good, you're going to see that change. Let's play the rookie. Caught up with the kid out of Virginia Tech. Off to a really good start in his career. That is Bayshell Tootin. Here with rookie Bayshell Tootin. Thursday practice for you guys. How did it go?
It went pretty well. I think overall as an offensive unit, we corrected some things that we needed to. Went out there and worked. So I think it was a good day overall.
How are you feeling as far as the shoulder?
I feel pretty good. I was limited today. Just a precautionary thing, but overall I feel much better.
Be able to go on Sunday?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. A real opportunity here for you guys to run against Houston. I know the sample size is small, but if you look at them, that's probably their biggest issue is giving up rushing yards. Just your focus offensively and on being able to do that Sunday.
We're just trying to go out there and, Coach Cohen's trying to call out the right runs to get us, increases the gaps. We pride ourselves in running the ball as an offense, so I think we're going to go out there. We have a pretty good game plan to exploit, like you said, their weakness in a sense. So we just got to go out there and execute. I think, if we play fast and physical, we can run the ball with it.
This is all new to you because you're a rookie. Are you under the, knowledge of this rivalry and what it's been like, the fact that Houston's come in here and won 9 out of the last 10 in Jacksonville?
I kind of felt it coming in, Monday morning. The vibe in here changed. A lot of people locked in, so I get that vibe, and I hear about it throughout the locker room. So definitely a work week, and we're looking to go out there and dominate.
What's it been like this week? I was with you guys in Cincinnati, and it was a difficult loss. When were you able to, turn that aside, if you will, and then have all your focus here on trying to knock off Houston?
I think that started Monday. We came and watched film. We had a good presentation by Coach Cohen and the team meet room. The game was behind us, so we just got to, hone on the things that we got, we made mistakes in that mattered, cost us the game where we didn't play well in, and just come in and do it. So it started Monday, and I think it is flowing throughout the week.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Off to a real good start. That is Bayshell Tootin. Of course, Tank Bigsby moved. The feeling was to get him involved, and he played well in Cincinnati. He leans forward. He moves the pile. And they lead the NFL, does Jacksonville. 169.5 yards a game. They're tied with Baltimore right now for yards per, as far as their average, at 5.7. Realistically, what do you need against Houston in order to win? I think a 140 plus will probably get you there. And I love the fact that Liam Cohen, if they win the toss, give me the ball. Give me the ball and let's set the tone right now. That would be ideal for Jacksonville, to win the toss and then put together one of those double-digit drives where you can take 6.5, 7 minutes off the clock, go up 7-0, and then have your defense respond, right? The lack of complementary football a year ago was nauseating. There were times where the offense, not in the first quarter, not in the first drive. Now, that's changed this year. They're 2 for 2 points on first drive. But when the offense did good things last year, the defense let them down. When the defense did good things last year, the offense let them down. Complementary football. Is this year's team going to be able to do more of that? They did against Carolina. And, they let it get away. No doubt about it against Cincinnati. I thought the defense played a pretty good game against Cincinnati. I mean, you knock Burrow out. You have 3 picks against, three what? You had 3 picks in the game. I can't remember the against Jake Browning. But you allowed Jake Browning with the game on the line, with 3:52 to go, you allowed that man to put together a 15-play, 92-yard drive. So that's not complimentary football. You know, and you could have said, hey, yeah, kick the field goal, go up 6. Well, they have a 15-play, 92-yard drive. Aided with some bad calls. My opinion, that was not a pass interference. Hunter turned his head. You know, people go back and forth with the rules just as we head to this break. So you know, and most of you are outstanding NFL fans, you know the difference between college and pro. You don't have to turn your head around as a defensive back in the NFL when covering a wide receiver as long as you do not touch that wide receiver. If you make contact with the wide receiver, as Travis Hunter did, you must turn your head around. Hunter did not immediately, but he did towards the end of the play. So as far as I'm concerned, I've talked to a lot of people. The official came up. We talked about it last night when I was out doing the live show. It was a really bad call. Jacksonville got some really bad calls last week. You hope that doesn't come into play on Sunday. Again, we can't talk to these refs after the game. It's unbelievable. They'll send one pool reporter out there. It's just these guys make bank.
Who's the reporter?
Well, if they think it's a big enough situation, they'll anoint one pool reporter. When I was a sideline reporter, I didn't know this, and that's been a radio rule anyway. Just you do things, and then you're told that you're not supposed to do them. When Nick Foles got landed on, when he threw that touchdown pass against Kansas City, I went to the official at halftime, went to the referee and said, why? Because they had put in that new rule about landing on a player.
Yep. That was the when Anthony Barr did that, Aaron Rodgers. That was right when they put it in.
Yep. Then I asked him, I said, why didn't you throw a 15-yard penalty? I mean, it was crystal clear that he gave the pile driver to Foles, and he separated his shoulder. Why didn't you draw a 15-yard penalty? He refused to answer my question. And he picked up the phone and he called PR and told them that the radio sideline guy asked that question.
How rude of you, Rick.
Yeah. So I was
wow.
And Dan Edwards had to let me know you're not allowed to do that. So you learn. I never did it again. But hell, I remember when RG3 went down and I ran all the way to the other side of the field. Those guys loved it. You're not supposed to leave your sideline.
Oh, so you can only stay on the Jags sideline the entire game.
I guess that's what but I tore through the end zone and behind the end zone and got right up in the Philly situation. And again, I was told I was not. I'm trying to remember, was that Philly or Washington? It was one of the two. They played two road games there.
RG3 played at Washington.
Yeah, it would have been Washington when he went down.
Early in his career.
The Gus Bradley years. So. But that's always been a rule in radio. It also applied for me in sideline reporting, Go out and do it and then be told that you're not allowed to do it. All right, we're allowed to do this. Take a break, come back, and bring in our good buddy, Rafael Esparza.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
All right, Ballou here. Small business owners need trucks and vans to keep your business moving. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Westside has Ram 1500s to heavy-duty 2500s, Pro Masters, and custom uplifts ready to work. Visit them on Commonwealth Avenue or go online to jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Westside, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local partner for work-ready vehicles.
morning, Jacksonville, DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family-owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top-quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
For the first time ever, Beard's Diamonds brings you names like Rolex, Cartier, Van Cleef, and Tiffany. It's happening this week, Thursday through Sunday, a 4-day premium estate jewelry event. This is a spectacular buying opportunity. Your chance to own the world's premium brands. Ready to own the Rolex of your dreams? Beard's buyers have scoured the country, handpicking high-quality pre-owned Rolex watches. All the hard-to-find models. Submariners, Datejust, Skydwellers, Yachtmasters. Over 100 pristine Rolex timepieces to choose from at exceptional value prices. Plus, showcases filled with Tiffany rings, Cartier necklaces, Van Cleef pendants, exquisite rare gemstone pieces. The finest estate jewelry in the world at prices you never thought possible. And for this special event, Beard's is selling loose diamonds at unheard of prices from 1 carat to 10 carats. Dazzling rare diamonds marked down to rock bottom. Don't miss this unprecedented event. The finest names, the highest quality, the guaranteed best values. It's this Thursday through Sunday, September 18th through 21st. Come early for the best selection. Beard's Diamonds at St. John's Town Center.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He is Rafael Esparza. He joins us every Thursday night. How you doing, young man?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Everything good this way. Where's the money on tonight? The 0-2 Dolphins, the 2-0 Bills.
It's a nice two-way action today. We had some Dolphin money come in this morning and dropped it down to 11. Some books actually had 11.5. Now it's getting some Bills, but I think it's mostly Bills parlays and teasers coming in right now. Nothing significant, but no big bets make me shock and awe on this one. But Dolphin money this morning.
Okay, interesting. Is it true that the Alvarez-Crawford fight was the most watched fight across the entire stratosphere, historically speaking?
Yes, because it was Netflix. So everyone around the world pretty much has Netflix, and you didn't have to pay extra. It wasn't a pay-per-view Netflix. Or if you had a Netflix an account, you got to watch it. So that is, you are 100% correct.
Yeah, I was in Cincinnati, so I missed it, but I do have Netflix. Obviously, I think everyone does. Is this the wave of the future?
I do believe so. If we do see a pay-per-view coming out of UFC, I mean, once they had the Paramount deal, it's going to the same thing. If you have a Paramount Plus, you won't pay for pay-per-views. You get to watch them there. I do see UFC charging extra for UFC White House. That they would be dumb if they didn't, but I can see in boxing and all that pretty much no more pay-per-views.
All right. The Florida Gators, Miami has won the last 8 out of 10 when these two teams have met. Obviously, they don't meet year after year. They lead the overall series as well, 30-27. That does go back quite a few decades. But, what do you make here of a couple of teams where it feels like are heading in the opposite direction?
Opposite direction is nicely being said. You can probably chalk that 9 out of the last 11, I think, meetings. I have a prop bet that I'm going to post after tonight's Thursday night football game. Which head coach would be fired first, Dolphins or Gators? So it's going to be a very interesting what happens in Florida football in the next 3 to 4 days. I think Florida gets blown out. If Miami beats them badly, then I think they'd let go. I think we have to pretty much fire the Florida Gators.
All right, would Pry and Watson both being let go, Vatek and UCLA, who's the leader right now? Is it Napier or is it Gundy?
Ooh, probably easy Napier. I think he's up there, but I think Napier's probably in worse shape. And everybody that has a head coach vacancy, I don't care where I put John Gruden at, by 36 hours he's a favorite. Everyone bets John Gruden. If you have a high school team that just lost a head coach and I put odds on it, people would bet John Gruden to be that high school coach.
All right, let's wrap it up with the game here Sunday at 1 o'clock. We know all the trends favor Houston. Again, where's the money gone so far this week on Jacksonville and Houston?
It's been all Houston right now, but I think I think Jacksonville money will come in on Saturday and Sunday. They figure the home team laying such a soft number. I'm not. Houston's defense really good, but they can't run the ball. I mean, I mean, CJ does not look like the same CJ his rookie season. So I think grab the 1.5 pretty much now, because it wouldn't shock me if we see 2. I would be shocked if we see 2.5. But I do believe we'll probably see a solid 2 on the Jags.
Interesting. All right, tell us about your show and what else is going on that we missed.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you for Jimmy Kimmel for getting pretty much fired. I've been working on these prop bets since all afternoon, but those will be out sometime this evening. And it's a football week. I mean, you have baseball rounding up. WNBA playoffs have been fun, but it's football all day long. We got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I am just happy there's only one Monday night game, because last 2 Monday night games this Monday were duds, and we're going to see a good one between the Lions and Ravens.
Yeah, I agree with that, no doubt. Raphael, always a pleasure. Best of luck with all your plays. We'll talk again next week.
Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
There he goes. Yeah, C.J. Stroud, we talked about him and his struggles. You look at Nick Chubb, of course, without Joe Mixon. He had that 25-yard touchdown that we did see on Monday night, but 25 for 103, so that put him at 24. He's well under 3.5 yards a carry. And Woody Marks, 6 for 17. That's 2.8. Old friend Dari Agumbawale, 2 for 9. That's 4.5, but only 2 totes. And Damian Pierce with 3 lugs. The former Gator, 5 yards. Yeah, they can't run. And they can't stop the run. Give them that more than 120 yards a game. I'm calling for 140. I think 140 plus gives them a W. That's my way of looking at it. Okay, tomorrow, 4 to 6 on AM 1010. Tim Brando. I'm going to replay Jimmy Smith We'll have more from the Jaguar players. Again, tomorrow during high school football season, so for another couple of months or so, we will do it from 4 until 6 on AM 1010.
Your play-by-play home of Bulls Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
The Bulldogs show their bite as they fight the Oak Leaf Knights. Friday at 7 on 1010 AM.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestaProsNEFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
Go ahead and dial it. Dial what?
When you call in your opinion or hear an interesting interview from a sports insider on Jaguars Today or XL Primetime, you're getting it straight from the Checkmate Coatings phone line all day, every day on 1010XL.
Nothing like a hot shower. Wait, why is the water up to my ankles?
It's the dreaded clogged shower drain. Hair, soap scum, and last week's mystery goo.
It's touching my toes!
Don't panic. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. We'll tackle plumbing, septic, and even the nastiest shower clogs. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Pizza to T here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium Swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Enjoy barbecue, live music, and auctions at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida's 4th annual Sizzlin' Soiree, presented by Dunkin' Donuts, October 2nd at the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Kuhn Flowers announces their home holiday decorating team is now taking orders for the holiday season. This is JJ with 1010XL. No more hassling with tree buying, untangling, and hanging burned out lights. Call on Kuhn Flowers, they'll do it all.
Duval Fence is looking for the best in fence installers. Check out DuvalFence.com right now and fence in a great job opportunity. From estimates to installers, they're looking for you right now. Log on to DuvalFence.com for all the details. Equal opportunity employer.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, The Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Well, nothing has changed for the Jaguars as far as the injury report. Ezra Cleveland did not work. That's the big one to look for tomorrow. Hopefully a limited participation or full participation. The understanding is that he's going to play, but didn't work again today. Also, with the wrist and with Brian Thomas Jr., he was downgraded today to limited after a full day yesterday. I still think he is absolutely going to play. As a matter of fact, I said earlier, I think he's going to have a breakout game coming up here against the Houston Texans. That and tonight, we've got Thursday night football for you. The 0-2 Dolphins visiting the 2-0 Bills.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hacker After Dark. It begins right now. Young fella, how you doing?
Good. Week 3. Boy, you wait all year, and all of a sudden you snap your fingers, and it's week 3 of the NFL, which kicks off tonight with Miami and Buffalo.
I made perhaps a bigger deal about this leading up to the start of the year. For the first time ever, I said that game against Carolina was more important for this city and this fan base for its mental health. I feel the exact opposite now in game 2 at home against Houston. They have to win this game. We can't sit here in a year and talk about Houston's won 10 out of 11 in Duval. They have to be the more physical team. They have, it's not a must win, but I just think for the overall sake of where this team is and where they're going, they have to win on Sunday.
It's a big game, and the point I made last night, everybody talks about the Tennessee Titans being the biggest rival. Well, they're no longer the biggest rival. The Houston Texans are the biggest rival. I mean, Houston has come into your house 9 out of the last 10 times and beat you, and in miraculous fashion. I mean, remember a fullback ran back a 90-yard kickoff for a touchdown? Wasn't that interesting? Then you had Azeez Al-Shaair do what he did last year. Houston's kind of rubbed your face in the dirt for the better part of a decade. And for that matter, Rick, I mean, you go back to the inception of the Houston Texans, 46 games the Jaguars and the Texans have played. The Texans have won 31 of those 46. That needs to change now. The one thing I don't like is Houston might be in a must-win. I mean, 4 teams since 1990 have made the playoffs after starting 0-3. Yeah. That is what the Texans are facing if they lose on Sunday.
I think there's 18 out of 190, 0-2, who have made the playoffs, 9.5%. And as you just said, it drops down to 3% if you go 0-3.
Ironically enough, Houston was one of those teams in 2018. But this is a gigantic game for Houston, a gigantic game for Jacksonville. The throwback uniforms, the Azeez Al-Shaair factor. It's going to be interesting. Normally I have a pretty good idea which way I'm going to go. I went Jacksonville week 1. I went Cincinnati last week. I'm 2-0, which I'm, not to pat myself on the back. I have no idea who's going to win this game. I can close my eyes and I can literally see it going both ways. I'm completely still up in the air right now.
I'm homering out on this one. I already released it. I like the Jaguars 27-20.
I hope you're right. That'd make for a great 5th quarter. And I agree. Brian Thomas Jr. is due for a good game. You know what Houston does with Derek Stingley? They're one of those teams. He just follows the wide receiver 1. If wide receiver 1's on the left, Derek Stingley goes with him. If wide receiver 1 is on the right, Derek Stingley goes with him. If Brian Thomas Jr. has a big game with Derek Stingley Jr. shadowing him, more power to him. Derek Stingley might be the best corner in football.
He really had a big game Monday night against who am I thinking? Mike Evans. Mike Evans. Yeah, I had a really good game there against Mike Evans. So, yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting if he does, follow and stay, specifically with Thomas Jr., or will he perhaps flip to Hunter? I don't know. I think Hunter, again, may play more on defense. Parker Washington deserves more than 17 snaps in the first 2 games that he's got.
Agreed. 5 for 76 last week. I want to see more of Parker Washington. What do you think the motivation will be for Christian Kirk on Sunday? It'll be his first game. He's missed the first 2. He's been limited out there, but the talk is he's going to play on Sunday. Probably some motivation for Christian Kirk to come in here and do some damage.
No doubt, but you can't let Christian Kirk beat you. There's far more on the other side about the hit on Trevor last year and the domination that everyone's talking about, 9 of 10 here. Christian Kirk, great guy, nice football player. I'm sure he's going to give it all he's got, but again, I'm going to stay with the Jags. I think they win this game. What else tonight for you?
Inside the Jaguar locker room, I had one-on-one conversations with Dennis Gardeck and DeJuan Smoot. We will play both of those conversations for you. And my buddy Cecil Shorts, a former Jaguar wide receiver and a former Houston Texan wide receiver. It's a Cecil Shorts Bowl on Sunday here in Jacksonville. We'll have Cecil on to give his thoughts on both teams, and he will give his prediction on who he thinks is going to win.
Interesting. Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us. Thank you to Bayshell Tootin for joining us. Caught up with him earlier today. Thank you to Brenton Strange, and thank you to Rafael Esparza. Remember, tomorrow, 4 to 6 on the AM, Tim Brando. I'm going to replay the Jimmy Smith interview. Much more on the Jags. Perhaps the Philly Godfather, at least an abbreviated edition with him. But we're going to be jam-packed on Friday. That'll be from 4 to 6 on AM 1010. For Dylan Denmark, I'm Rick Ballou. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 4 on 1010 AM.